Good morning, guys, and welcome to day 73, Friday, and it's the weekend. Now, we all know what the weekend means. The weekend means eating. Well, it normally means eating. Some people are finding it a bit difficult to stick on a plan of the weekend. The thing is, I find if you plan ahead and know what you're going to be eating or know what you're going to be doing, it can work out a bit easier. So if you're going away for the weekend and you know you're going to eat a bit, then plan your meals in advance. If you're going to go out to eat, then there's no reason why you can't. I mean, these days there's a lot of things on menus. There's menus that people have out which is under 600 calories. There are menus that are under 800 calories. Excuse me. There are quite a few salads and vegan and vegetarian things on menus these days. Also gluten-free. There's a lot of gluten-free menus out as well these days. So I think it's just planning ahead. Yeah, sometimes you can't always plan ahead, but if you tend to know what you're going to be doing and where you're going to be going, then try and stick to plan. Okay, you're going to maybe, because the weekend, drink a bit. And yeah, drink does put weight on you. But I think don't deny yourself anything, because if you start denying yourself things, you're going to crave it even more. So if you want to go out and you want to have a meal, or if you want to go out and you want to have a drink, then do it. But if you want to try and stick to plan, then try and pick things that are not so high in calories. Go for the under 800 or the under 600 calorie meals, or go for the salads, the chicken salads or whatever. If you're going out and you know that it's a special occasion or you don't get out very often, and you want to splurge a little bit, then fine. But as soon as you're full, stop eating. Move the plate away, or do what I do. Put loads of sauce or whatever on top of it, or give it to somebody else. There's nothing worse than carrying on eating and eating, even when you're full. And then for the next 2 or 3 hours afterwards, you feel like rubbish. I know, I've been there, I've done it before. So try and plan ahead. For those of you that don't know, I started off on diet shakes when I first started my journey. And I've done them for about 2 or so months. And now I've gone on to a low carb diet, which is working out really good. Lost weight again last week. Gonna try and go for it this week, really go for it this week, because I want to get under that 21. I want to get into my next lot of figures, which would be 20 stone something. I don't care if I get to 20 stone 13.5 pounds, as long as it gets under that 21. So yeah, I'm gonna really go for it this week. Low carb diets are really effective for weight loss. Just reducing your carbs, it reduces your appetite. I know you might think I'm absolutely crazy, but it does. As I said, Wednesday I get weighed, and I usually have like a little treat on a Wednesday. I've not really been having a little treat, but this week, Wednesday, I did. I had curry, which isn't too bad. I can have my curry, but I had it with chips, and it's the first time I've had chips in a long time. And I really enjoyed it. Didn't eat it all, but really enjoyed it. The following morning when I got up, I was starving. So Thursday morning, I could have killed for something to eat. And normally I don't have breakfast and I'm not hungry. But because I had them carbs and I'm not used to having a lot of carbs, I was starving. So sticking to low carbs or no carbs actually does suppress your appetite. I think having no carbs as well, there's really no need to count calories, because all the food you're eating is quite good for you. You know, you're having your salads, you're having your veg, you're having things that will make you feel full, will make you feel satisfied. And with the carbs, I think, yeah, carbs are great because they make you feel full. They fill you up really quick. But about half an hour later, you're empty. It's like when you have a roast dinner. You know, you can sit there and have a big roast dinner with your potatoes and your Yorkshire pudding and your beef and your veg and everything else. And it takes you most of the day to cook it. You sit down, it's gone in 15 minutes and you're stuffed. Half an hour later, you're thinking, where's the cake? Or where's my Sunday tea? Or because it's not keeping you satisfied. Whereas on the no carbs or very few carbs, you can eat as much veg, as much salad, as much meat until you're full, until you're satisfied, and it keeps you satisfied for longer. I know, crazy, you wouldn't think so, but it is, it does. So stick to your meat, your fish, your eggs, cheese. You can even have butter. You know, if just because you're on a low carb or no carb doesn't mean you can't have your oils and your butters, because they're also quite good for you. It's keeping away from your processed grains. Processed grains, your white rice, your white flours, all that sort of stuff. Keeping away from your processed foods. Yeah, okay, it's easy, you know, if you've been out at work all day and you come in and it's easy just to get something out the freezer, throw it in the microwave. But there are recipes and there are diet recipes and stuff out there which take 15 minutes. I mean, Joe Wicks has got a book out which has got lots of recipes in, quite low carbs. Some of them are a little bit high, so you've got to be careful, but quite low carbs, a lot of proteins and stuff, and they take 15 minutes, and that's from preparing to sitting down with it. So don't think, oh, I just get out the microwave and chuck it in, don't get out the freezer and chuck it in the microwave, it's easier. Because that is processed foods, and that food is going to stick somewhere. I mean, whether it be on your hips, your stomach, your thighs, it's going to stick. Maybe. So try and keep away from that. If you stay away from carbs, you're guaranteed basically to lose weight. Don't forget, carbs are in all kinds of things. Yeah, that cake looks lovely on a shelf. But as soon as you've eaten it, that cake's no longer on the shelf. That cake's on your hips. That cake's on your arms. That cake's on your thighs. So try and keep away from things like that. I mean, I can't remember the last time I had cake. I can't remember the last time I had a biscuit. I'm going away next weekend, so I'm not going to be here on the Friday. I'm going to go away for the weekend, well, providing we don't go into full lockdown, because we're in lockdown at the moment, but I'm going to go away. Now, when I go away for a weekend, normally we don't cook. Normally we'll get a takeaway or whatever. If you're going to get a takeaway, the best takeaway to get, and I'm not joking, is fish and chips. I know it sounds crazy, but fish and chips is the best you can probably get when you're going away. You can, because it's filling, it'll fill you up quicker, so you probably won't eat as much of it. I tend to just get the fish. I don't get the chips because I can't eat that much anymore. I can only eat a little bit now. So I tend to just go for the fish. I might pick one or two chips of Mark's or whatever, just so that I know I've had it. But yeah, we try to do that, or we'll get a takeaway where it just involves a lot of chicken, which also fill me up. But it doesn't mean you've got to eat all day. Just because you know you're going away and you're going to eat a little bit more, it doesn't mean you have to get up and have a whopping big McDonald's breakfast. It doesn't mean then you've got to have sandwiches or baguettes or whatever for lunch and then a big meal in the evening. If you don't want it, why eat it? So it's just planning ahead. As I said, I'm going for it this week. I go for it every week, but this week I've got a goal to go for. I want to get to that, under that 21 mark. So I've got that goal to go for this week. I've not drank as much water as I possibly could. So from today, I'm going to start drinking more water. You know, I keep going on about water, how good water is for you, and water really does help you lose weight, and it fills you up, and it stops you getting headaches as well. So if you're on a low calorie diet, you might get some headaches, so water is really good for you. Winter's on its way. I mean, the clocks are going to go back soon, and the nights are already starting to draw in, and you probably want to edge away from salads and things. You probably want something more warming. So as I said, I bought a slow cooker. And we've been having one pot meals. Basically what we've been doing is just throwing some meat in and loads of vegetables, and then cooking it for a few hours and having it with cabbage or with broccoli and things like that. You don't need to have a mound of mash. We had sausage casserole, as I said the other day. I had it with cabbage. I had a mound of cabbage rather than a mound of mash. Really enjoyed it. So now that winter's coming, it doesn't mean you've got to put the diet to one side because you're getting a bit cool and whatever. It doesn't mean that. It means you can still carry on dieting, but just eat more vegetables. There are people out there that don't like veg. I mean, I'm lucky. I absolutely adore my veg. But fill up on other stuff. Have a lot of ham, bacon, meat, if you like that. If you don't, there's other things that you can have. There's fish, there's nuts, anything like that would be ideal. As I said, the weekend's on its way and people find it hard. Try and treat the weekend as any other day. Just because it says weekend, it doesn't mean it's a blowout. Try and treat it as you would do during the week with eating. I know it's hard. Dieting is hard. It's the hardest thing anybody has to do, I think. People say it's like coming off drugs, or it's like coming off smoking or whatever. It is, but I think it can sometimes be a little bit harder because you're around food constantly. You know, if you give up smoking, you can put a patch on, or you can not buy any, or you can stay away from people who are smoking, or you can have one of those vapey things. With food, you have to eat. You have to eat. I mean, if you don't eat, you die. So I think food and trying to get your mind to work differently is very, very difficult. Anyway, I would like to say a big thank you to Hitch Up and Tow for having me on their channel for the interview this week. It was quite enjoyable. It was quite funny. I don't think Mark's put all the bloopers out, but you never know, that could be one to come because it really was hilarious. So I'd like to say thank you to Hitch Up and Tow for having me and putting up with me. And if you haven't seen it, then pop over to the channel. It's worth a watch. And as I say, we'll be away on Friday, next Friday. We'll be away for the weekend. So there'll be probably another blog coming out. I'm not going to tell you where because I can't remember, basically. Anyway, but yeah, we're not going too far. And that's if it actually does happen with it being locked down and everything. So until Monday, I shall love you and leave you. Please give me a thumbs up. If anybody needs me for anything, if anyone's struggling, and I know there's a few struggling because I'm not getting as many comments and I'm not getting as many people emailing me or messaging me. So if you're finding it hard, then please get in touch and I'll help any way I can. If you're starting the shakes, then good luck to you, and let me know how you're going, and I will see you on Monday. Until then, bye for now.